Okay, today is video 2, and we're talking about common factors and common multiples. So our first vocabulary word is a common factor, and it's exactly what it says. It's factors that are common to two or more numbers. So remember, a factor are their rectangles. So it's the number of rectangles that are common to two or more numbers. Multiples, if you remember, that's when you skip count or count by a number like 5, 10, 15, 20. Those are your multiples. A common multiple are multiples that are common to two or more numbers. Okay, the way that we're going to find common factors are we're going to use a Venn diagram. So in this example, we're going to find the common factors of 18 and 24. Step 1 is to make a table listing all the factors. Step 2 is to put those in the Venn diagram. Step 3, factors that are common to both go in the overlap. In step 4, we're going to highlight the greatest common factor. So the first thing we want to do is make a table listing the factors of 18. So if you remember our table, we start like this. We have 1 and 18. We always have that one. 2 and 9, 3 and 6, 4 doesn't go in there, 5 doesn't go in there, 6 does, and so we're finished. So now we're going to do the factors of 24 over here. So we're going to make our table. We have a 1 by 24, a 2 by 12, a 3 by 8, a 4 by 6. Are either one of these square numbers? If you said no, you're right, because none of them have a square in their block rotation. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start classifying these. We're going to put them into this Venn diagram. Okay, so we're going to start with the ones. They both have a 1, so that's going to go right here in the center. The center is where you share everything. They both have a 2. So that's going to go there. They both have a 3, so that's going to go in there. They don't both have a 4. The 4 is only with 24, so it's going to go in the 24 circle. They both have a 6. 24 has an 8. 18 has a 9. 24 has a 12. 18 has an 18. And 24 has a 24. So the common factors are 1, 2, 3, and 6. The greatest common factor, though, is 6. So we're going to highlight the 6. Or if you don't have a highlighter, you can just box it in, or you can write GCF next to it. That's the greatest common factor. So the next example is to find the common factors of 36 and 48. You're going to make your table for 36 and list the factors, make a table of 48 and list the factors, and then put them where they should go. So go ahead and hit pause and do that. When you think you have it all finished and the greatest common factor highlighted, go ahead and hit play and we'll see if you're right. Okay, so here's what your paper should look like. Here are all the factors of 36, all the factors of 48. The ones in red are the ones that they have in common. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. And the greatest common factor, the greatest number in that center circle there, is 6. So if you were able to get that, good job. Okay, so now we're talking about multiples, the common multiples of 4 and 6. Step 1 says to list the first 10 multiples of each number, put them in the Venn diagram. Multiples that are common to both go in the overlap, and then we're going to highlight the least common multiple. So let's list out the multiples of 4. We're going to list the first 10. So it goes 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. That takes me up to 4 times 10. Now we're going to go over to 6. We're going to do all the multiples of 6 up until 6 times 10. So we're going to do 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, 6 times 5, 6 times 6, 6 times 7, 6 times 8, 6 times 9, and 6 times 10. Now what we're going to do is we're going to classify those into the Venn diagram. So 4 would go here, 8 would go here, 12 would go here because they both have a 12, 16 goes here, 20 goes here, 24 goes in the middle because they both have a 24, 28 goes here, 32 goes here, 36 goes in the middle because they both have a 36, and then 40 goes here. Now let's do 6. 6 goes here, 12 is already in the middle, 18 goes here, 24 is already in the middle, 30 goes here, 36 is already in the middle, 42 goes over here, 48 goes over here, 54 goes over here, and 60 goes over here. So what we did is we wanted to find the least common multiple. So if you look in the middle, the smallest number that they have, the least one, the smallest one they have is 12. That's the least common multiple. So now it's your turn to find the least common multiple. Go ahead and hit pause, solve it, and then we'll come back and see how you did. Okay, if you did yours right, this is what your paper should look like. And the least common multiple, there's only one of them, and that's 72. So the answer to this, the least common multiple, the smallest number that 8 and 9 both go into, is 72. There is no quiz on these notes on blend space, but there will be a quiz when you come into class. Also, try to think of a funny joke that you can tell me, a funny Halloween joke. That way I'll know if you watch this quiz. Don't tell anybody though. So if you watch this quiz, I'll know because you have your notes filled out and you're going to have a funny Halloween joke. I'll see you next day in class. Bye.